Hey guys, Foxy here with another video. I'm making so many videos, but this one was unintended because they just dropped this on us that the beast hunters are coming out. Their attack types. So I'm gonna go through their kits, give you my first initial opinions on them. So starting with the fire one, they're all attack, okay? What stands out to me the most of the fire one is the faster your attack speed, the greater the damage becomes. So it's speed scaling, right? And it looks like a Lagmaron kit. You know that Gemini cleave that people use? So it's gonna be a Vanessa Lagmaron and this fire beast hunter probably. Because it scales with speed, it defense breaks, so it sets up the next monster to attack. So I don't know what its base speed is right now at the time of this video, but that's the initial idea I'm getting. You can absorb the attack bar, so if another unit that's fast, like a Gianna for example, or a Wunsa, whatever monster can cut in between, that's the monster you attack bar decrease, right? And all of them have a rider passive where if you're about to die, you get another life basically and you hop off, right? And you have another, and it's just the hunter itself, the beast is dead, right? So now it's passive, you get more attack bar increase and you get less of a decrease. Okay, so I guess that's useful, but in a cleave situation, you're going for broke, right? So I can see that being useful. And in the human form, it still has speed scaling, and second skill attacks the enemy to absorb the enemy's attack bar by 25% for each harmful effect granted on the target. So if you're running a CC cleave, you're probably going to be using this like a druid. You know that fire druid, a lot of like and like black segment, right? A lot of stuff. So that unit will probably scale off well with that. But my initial thoughts here, she's probably the weakest of the whole family here, just because her kit is so niche, and I only really think cleaving with her or a CC control team will work with it. Keep in mind it is a attack type unit. Okay, moving on to the water one. I briefly read it. I think the water one is honestly the best one here. Keep in mind it's also an attack type. Okay, so all the first skills are the same, right? Where you attack the enemy to decrease the attack speed for 2 turns with a 30% chance. Okay, they're all the same, they're all speed scaling, it looks like. So fast link, right? The faster your attack speed, the greater it becomes. Very similar feature like the Lagmaron, okay? So you want to build it fast. Attacks the enemy with the beast 2 times. The beast attacks weaken the enemy defense for 1 turn. That's great. So this is the same thing as it looks like the same thing, right? It's the same thing, fast link and fast link, right? Same thing. So the skill that you want to look at is start of attacking. So this is it removes beneficial effects, okay, and ignores enemy defense based off how many effects are removed. So think of a Daphnis, okay? So if you're able to remove buff effects and ignore damage and nuke out something, I can probably run this in my own cleave, to be honest. It's a potential. I'm not sure how well it'll work. Depends on its kit, base speed, and scaling obviously, right? But at first glance, start of attacking looks pretty dang good. So this beast is the one I'm really looking at right now, and also the fire one, just because of how the passive works, could be used for cleaving. I'm not 100% sold on it, but I think the water one, I'm a little bit more sold on its kit. So look at the human form, it's basically the same, I believe, right, as the other one. Yeah, so you decrease the HP and attack speed when you hop off. So yep, same thing here. Okay, so water one, in my opinion, pretty hot here. Okay, the wind one, okay, first skill is the same. Critical link is the difference here. The other one's fast link. So critical link, the faster your attack speed. So speed scaling, once again, really rewarding the speed meta. Speed meta is going to forever stay from Comp 2S. It's not going to change. And as you can already see, the other 2 kits, they got attack bar decreases, attack bar increases. It's all about control for RTA. It's not going to stop. It's going to be control meta forever, okay? So the faster your attack speed, the greater the damage becomes. Attacks the enemy with the beast 2 times. The beast attacks changes all beneficial effects granting the target to continuous damage. So it's like a strip, but changes it to continuous damage for damage. Okay. Got it. So the rider does damage based off how many harmful effects are granted. So it counters the immunity meta. But it's not, but Wusa and not that popular anymore. Fran is also not as popular as it used to be. So maybe not as good as the water one, but I can see its use here, right? It's a damage threat here that can strip and turn them into dots and damage. So gigantic roar. The rider increases the attack speed of all allies for 2 turns. Okay, turn cycling, attack speed, right? And the beast attacks all enemies, weakens the enemy defense for 2 turns, so it sets up damage, like for higher chip damage, okay? If the defense is lower than your attack power. So you actually have to build this on a attack build, because everything in RTA has strong defense, because if you know how it works, because it goes lower, the longer you play, the less HP you have, the more valuable defenses, right? So you actually need attack power on this unit and to protect it somehow, okay? And then you set the attack bar to 0 if that condition is met, right? The attack speed is slower than yours, so you actually have to build this fast. Once again, set the enemy's attack bar to 0. Again, control meta, okay? Like, very common theme, and you will see this going on in probably the next year or forever, okay? So the human form is basically just a nerfed version, I guess. Okay, moving on. The light one. Okay, we all want to see how OP the LD ones are, obviously, right? So the first skill, same thing, critical link, we already discussed, right? You change all beneficial effects. It's a strip, fantastic. The passive wild chase is what we want to look at. The attack speed increased by 35% for each time an enemy gains a turn. So each time they gain a turn, your enemy gains a turn, you get attack speed, but it's capped at 5. So in my opinion, that's a lot of turn cycling. It's gonna counter the gaining of Thor control teams because you get attack bar. Once again, it's built attack, so I don't know how much you will live or how many turns you can possibly live before getting destroyed, right? So I think that kit is pretty good, and in addition, it decreases the enemy attack bar by 30% with each attack. So you definitely want to build this fast to counter the meta of control. So that is really, really good in my opinion. I think the light one, I mean, not gonna get it, but it looks like something that people will desire, okay? So moving on here to the human form, it looks like again it's just the nerfed version. So moving on to the dark one. So fast link, we already discussed that. Late night ambush. Attacks all enemies with the beast 2 times. The beast attacks sets the enemy's attack bar to 0, and the rider attack inflicts damage that increases up to 100% in proportion to attack bar that's been decreased. So I don't know if there's been an accuracy check here, but it doesn't seem that OP to me, because you decrease the attack bar to 0. Yes, does it go through will runes? I don't know. And it increases your attack bar. And the rider attacks inflicts damage that increases up to 100% in proportion to the attack bar that is decreased. Okay, so it's kind of RNG, I guess. I mean, this kit's not super crazy, I don't think. It doesn't really scream OP to me like some of the other monsters in our that have been released. Dark Druid. Anyways, that is my review of the new units. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment, and we are busting out so many videos, man.